Hi, my name is Janita Christie, working as an assistant professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Bharat Institute of Higher Education and Research. So today we are going to see the topic magnetic storage devices. So if you'd like to store documents, PDFs, videos, images, we have to store it in any of the storage devices. So we have many storage devices. So we are going to see one by one. So we have two processes in the storage devices. One is reading and then is the writing data. Reading is in the sense, once we have stored the data, once we have written the data, what we are going to do, we are going to read it from that. So we are going to accessing it. That is what is the reading data. Writing data is the storage of data. So what is data? The data can be anything. It can be information, it can be a movie, it can be music files, it can be PDFs, it can be documents. So even it can be operating system files. So these are the data. So media, we are going to use certain terms in this storage devices. So I'll explain you each and everything so that when we use it, it will be easier for you to understand. Media is nothing but the material we are going to use for storing the data. That is what is the media. Next is the storage device. What it is going to do, it is going to manage the media. That is the manage the material. And then magnetic devices, it uses a magnet. Optical devices, it uses lasers. So there are different types of storage devices. So if it is magnetic devices, it is going to use a magnet for storing purpose. And then if it is optical devices, it is going to use lasers. And then solid state devices, it have physical switches. So magnetic storage devices is the most common form of storage. So it can be of anything. It can be of hard disk, floppy disk, tapes. So it can be of pen drives, CD. So these are all the storage devices. And then if we take CD, there are different types of CD, rewritable CD, recordable CD. So a simple CD. So all magnetic drives works for the same purpose. That is for the storage purpose. So if you see here, the pictures, the different types of storage devices. First is the hard disk. And then hard disk is used for storing the operating system and then the applications and then the files we have. So everything will be stored in the hard disk. The hard disk will be partitioned and it will be stored in the hard disk. And next is the RAM. So RAM is the temporary storage devices. So whenever we switch on the computer and when we start processing, so what will happen? All the files that we are currently using, that will be stored in the RAM. So once we switch off the computer, all the data that is present in the RAM will be erased. So if we see the hard disk, even when we switch off the computer, it will not be erased. It is non-volatile, whereas RAM is volatile. And then we have the ROM, that is read-only memory. So read-only memory, here we can only access the data. Here we can only read the data and we cannot write anything on it. CD or DVD. Here we have the compact disc CD for storing purpose. So here we have two types of CDs, CD and then DVD. So if we see here CD can be stored, whereas DVD, the difference between CD and DVD is like the memory. CD, it is very less memory storage, whereas DVD, we can store even movies, even video files, we can store it in DVD. Floppy disk, it is one of the oldest method of storing the data, that is the floppy disk. And then we have the memory card. Here we have memory card, we all will be using in our mobile phones. It's a peripheral device, so it's a memory card. And then pen drive. Pen drive also we use it in our laptops and then our computers. And then we have tape. It is also the oldest method of storing devices. We store music, we store songs. So we use the tape recorder for playing this tape. And then magnetic storage devices. So magnetic storage devices, data storage and retrieval. So we store the data, and then whenever we need the data, we retrieve it. So media is covered with iron oxide. So as I've already said, media is nothing but the material in which we are going to store. So media is covered with iron oxide. So what we are going to do in that iron oxide, so we can read or write in that iron oxide. How it is going to happen? So we have a head called read write head, which is nothing but a magnet. So this magnet writes charges on the media. So how it is going to write the charges on the media? We all know the computer, that is the data, will be stored in binary form. That is either 0 or 1. So each and every word, each and every code is going to be converted into an assembly language, that is binary bits 0 and 1. So all is going to be 0 and 1. So magnet writes charges on the media. How it is going to make the charge on the media? So if positive charge means it is 1. If negative charge means it is 0. So magnet read charges. So how drive converts charges into binary. So this drive converts these charges into binary. So positive charge means 1, negative charge means 0. So we have a drive that converts charges into binary. And then we have the data organization. How this data is being organized. The data is being organized and stored in the storage devices. So this must be formatted before use. So whenever we are going to use the disk, so this has to be partitioned before we are going to use. So format draws tracks on the disk. So when we format the disk, it draws a tracks on the disk. That is nothing but a division on the disk. Okay, we are going to divide it like for a C drive, okay, for D drive, for E drive. Okay, we are going to allocate some memory space in each and every drive. So tracks is divided into sectors. So when once we have drawn the tracks, this track is divided into sectors. So amount of data a drive can read, that is nothing but the amount of data that can be stored and that can be read. Right. So as I've said already, these are the tracks and sectors. So these are the tracks. We have nearly 20 tracks here. So these are the tracks, and each track will be divided into a sector. So these are the sectors. So magnetic storage devices. So finding data on disk. So how do we find the data on disk? Now we all have understood how the disk will be partitioned. It is partitioned into track and then into sectors. So how we are going to find out the data on disk? So each track and sector is labeled. So it is labeled. So what we can do, we can easily name it. So some are reserved. Some are reserved for the operating system, for the program files. So list of where files are stored. So we use the allocation table, file allocation table. There are 32 methods, FAT32 NTFS method. With this, we track the data that is present in the disk. So data is organized in clusters. So with the help of track and sectors, and then the labels we have for each and every data, this data is organized in clusters. So size of data, the OS handles. We have different storage devices. First is the diskettes. This is nothing but the floppy drive. So it is also known as the floppy disk. So here how the reading takes place. Read with the disk drive. So we have a Mylar disk. So its memory is 3.5 floppy disk holds. That is 3.5 inch floppy disk. It holds 1.44 MB. So it spins around 300 revolutions per minute. So its speed is this much. So and it is the oldest method of storing data. And then we have the primary storage device. This is nothing but the hard disk. So if you see the hard disk, this is the primary storage device where it stores most of the information and then important information. That is nothing but the operating system, the application programs, the files, the documents, everything will be stored in the hard disk. So it is nothing but a hardware component that stores all of our digital content, such as documents, pictures, music, videos, programs, application programs, and more importantly, the operating system. Here we'll see how it functions. Here we have two or more aluminum platters. Here we have two or more aluminum platters, and each platter has two sides. So if you see here, each platter has two sides, and its spinning speed is 5,400 to 15,000 revolutions per minute. So its capacity is 40 GB, and it is greater than 40 GB. So this is the hard drive. So we'll see the internal part of the hard drive. So we have the, if we see externally, we can see the magnet, that is, we can see the arm, and we can see the set of disk. So if you see here, we have the set of disk here, and then the read-write head. This we call it as the read-write head, and then we have the access arm. So this is a spindle. So what will happen? This will start rotating. So with the help of the label, with the help of the label and the read-write head, the information that is stored in the disk will be. So these are the aluminum platters with the magnetic coating. So magnetic storage devices. So what are all the magnetic storage devices? So we have removable high capacity disk. So speed of the hard disk is more high because it is a primary storage device, as I've already said. And its portability of the floppy disk, it is portable. And then several variants have been emerged. Yes, many storage devices have been emerged, but still hard disk is the primary storage. And then high capacity floppy disk. And later there is a high capacity floppy disk that stores up to 750 MB of data. And then hard swappable hard disk. It provides GB of data, and it is able to connect via USB. So next, the magnetic storage device, we have the tape drives. It's also the oldest method of storing. We have the tape drives. It is best used for infrequently accessed data. So if there is a data in which we don't access it frequently, we store it in the tape drives. And it can also be used as a backup solutions. So slow sequential access. So why it is why we don't prefer it, and why infrequently accessed data is being stored, because it's slow sequential data. So we can access it, and it's very slow, and its speed is very slow, and its capacity exceeds 200 GB. So compared to floppy disk, this tape drives, its capacity is larger, whereas its speed is very slow. So that's why we store the infrequently accessed data. Next is the optical storage devices. Optical storage devices, we have CD-ROM. So as we all know, this CD-ROM. So software ships on a CD. So most of the software, most of the things we store it on a CD. Mainly, if we see the Java, if we see C programs or something like, most of the software, installation software, that will be stored in a CD. And how it functions, it is read using a laser beam. So a laser beam is passed, and then it is being read. The data that is stored in the CD is being read. And it lands binary 1, reflect data, it's scattered data. So we have two things, one is lands and another one is bits. Lands means binary 1, and it reflects the data, and if it is bit, means that is 0, scatter the data. And it is written from inside out. CD speed is based on the original CD read 150 kilobits per second, and it is 10 times will read 1500 kilobits per second. The standard CD holds 650 MB. So it's still greater than the floppy drive and the tape drives. Whenever we found out new thing, speed is also getting increased, and then its capacity is also getting increased. Whereas if you see the size of the storage device, it is getting reduced. So, optical storage devices. Next is the DVD-ROM. So DVD-ROM, so DVD, it is digital versatile disk, read-only memories, that is DVD-ROM. So we have the digital video disk. It uses both sides of the disk. So whereas one side is covered, we cannot see it. It looks just like the CD-ROM, whereas here both sides of the disk are being used, whereas in CD-ROM, only one side is being used. The capacity is 18 GB. If you see the capacity of CD, it's only 700 MB or 650 MB, and if we see the capacity of the DVD-ROM, it is 18 GB, which is more than the CD-ROM. DVD players can read CDs, yes. Whether DVD player can read DVD-ROM as well as CD-ROMs. Whereas CD player, in CD player, we cannot use the DVD disk. Whereas in DVD player, we can use both DVD as well as CD, and we can hear. So recordable optical technologies. Next is the recordable optical technologies. So what is this recordable optical disc? So this media contains an organic dye layer whose transparency can be altered either to observe a laser beam or to allow the beam to pass through a reflective layer behind the dye. So here we are going to record in the CD. So that is CDR, that is CD recordable. So how it functions? So this CDR, that is CD recordable, it contains the organic dye layer above it. Transparency can be altered either to observe a laser beam or to allow the beam to pass through to a reflective layer which is behind the dye. So this is how reading and writing takes place in the CD recordable. So here we create a data or audio CD. And once if we store the data cannot be changed and continue adding until so full CD can be occupied for the storing purpose. Next is the recordable optical technologies, that is CD rewritable, that is CD-RW. So here we create a reusable CD. This CD, we can reuse it, we can erase the data, and we can reuse it. So that is CD rewritable. Little bit costly because it is CD rewritable, and you cannot read in all CD players. So it cannot be read in all CD players. We can only use the DVD player to play this CD rewritable. And how many times it can be reused? It can be reused about 100 times. So it is a little bit costly, CD rewritable. Whereas if we see the CD-ROM, CD recordable, it is only for the storing purpose, we cannot rewrite. Whereas the CD rewritable, we can rewrite, and we can reuse it 100 times. And next is the recordable optical technologies. The next is the photo CD. Okay. For the purpose of storing the photos, it is developed by Kodak and provides for photo storage. So this CD is especially for the storing purpose of photographs. So photos added to CD until it is full. Yes, we can use this complete CD for the storing purpose of photographs. The original pictures cannot be changed. So if we would like to edit or something like that, we cannot do it. The original pictures cannot be changed. Next is the DVD recordable. We have the, as we had the CD rewritable, CD recordable is same. that is DVD recordable, whereas the storage capacity is more compared to the compared to the CD recordable. Several different formats exist. Yes, here we have several different formats are there, and none are standardized. Allow home users to create DVD, especially for the home users to record their songs, and cannot be read in all players. Yes, of course, it cannot be read in all players. So we need a DVD player to play this DVD recordable disc. Next is the DVD RAM. So here we have the DVD RAM. Here, allow reusing of DVD media. As we have seen the CD rewritable, 100 times we can reuse that particular CD. So here we have DVD RAM. It also allows reusing of DVD media. Not all the DVDs are reusable. If you would like to reuse as many number of times the CD or the DVD, we have to buy a specific thing like this DVD RAM. So it allows reusing of DVD media and it is not standardized. Cannot be read in all players. It cannot be read in all the players. Yes. As I've already said, CD can be played in DVD player, whereas DVD cannot be played in CD player. Next is the solid state devices. So here, what is the solid state devices? It is portable. No magnet or laser is being used. It is very fast and data is stored physically. That is, as it names, solid state devices. It is not movable. Data is stored physically and no magnet or no laser beam is passed for storing purpose, and it's very fast. First, flash memory. This is nothing but the pen drive, the first one, and then this is the memory card. These two are the memory cards. So these we call it as the flash memory. So why do we go in for the flash memory? So flash memory is used for easy and fast information storage, computer, digital cameras, and home game consoles. Yes. Flash memory is used for the easy and it is very fast for the storing purpose. So what do we store? We can store the photos, we can store the videos, we can store even the files we can store. So digital cameras also this flash memory can be used. So is found in cameras and USB drives. And it is a combination of RAM as well as ROM. So long-term updatable storage. We store and transfer all kinds of files on our computers, digital photographs, music files, word processing documents, and countless other forms of media. Sometimes a computer hard drive is not exactly where we want our information. Yes, we don't want a hard drive to be overloaded by storing all our information. At times we would like to take it out. At times we would like to store it in some other devices. So at that time, this flash memory is useful. So sometimes our computer hard disk is not exactly where we want our information. So whether we want to make backup copies of our files, or if we worry about security, then portable storage devices like flash memory be the right solution. Next is the smart card. This is also a solid state device. It is portable. We can take it. So this smart card can protect stored data through the use of encryption and other cryptographic methods enabled by the card's microprocessor, such as key generation, secure key storage, hashing, and digital signatures. So if you see here, smart cards. So we use the smart cards we use these hotels, we use the smart cards in the ATM cards. So these are all credit cards. These are all the smart cards. The credit cards, it has a chip. It stores the information about the user. What information it's storing? It stores information such as key generation, secure key storage, hashing, and the digital signatures. The chip stores the data. Eventually, may be used for cash purpose. When we go for a restaurant, we use the credit cards. And when we need money, we use the ATM cards in the ATM machine. So hotels use for electronic keys. If we see the hotels, where electronic keys are used, whereas we can swipe up the key and we can open the doors of the hotel. So this also contains the data of the user. And then the solid state devices. The third one is the solid state disk. So we see here solid state disk, a large amount of SD RAM, and then it's extremely fast and it's volatile storage. To require backup, battery backups. So if we need the battery backups or something like that, we use the solid state disk because we can store a large amount of data. Most have hard disk copying data. I hope you all have understood the magnetic storage devices. So you all have seen what are all the different storage devices available. The first one is the floppy disk, which is the oldest method of storing data. So if you see the capacity, it's very less and its speed is also very less. Its capacity is 1.44 MB and its speed is 300 revolutions per minute. So in order to improve the speed and the storage capacity, we go in for the CD-ROM. For that, we have the tape drives. So its capacity is a little bit greater than the floppy disk. It is 200 GB. And then we have the CD-ROM. So this CD-ROM, its storage capacity is more compared to the tape drives and the floppy drives. So its capacity is 650 MB. So this in this 650 MB, 50 MB is reserved for some other purpose. So this 650 MB alone we can use among the 700 MB for the storage purpose. And then we have the DVD-ROM. So this DVD-ROM can be played only in the DVD players. And then we have the CD recordable. So if you like to use or if you like to edit the data, we use the CD recordable, we can record. And then CD rewritable, we can reuse this CD rewritable ROM about 100 times. And then we have the special CD for storing the photographs, that is photo CD. And then DVD recordable. This DVD recordable also we can perform write operation. And then we have DVD RAM, which is reusable DVD RAM. So last we have the solid state devices. One is flash memory, that is pen drive, magnetic drives. These are the flash memory. And then we have the smart cards, the credit cards, the ATM cards, the electronic keys that we use. So if you see the last one, that is the solid state disk, its capacity is more and it's extremely fast, and especially it is being used for the battery backups. I hope you all have enjoyed this session. Thank you for watching.